Welcome to the Grandma Bernie Show, and today I host our Grandma Bernie and the Scarecrow, and we're going to be talking about, guess what? Transplanting seedlings that have been growing in the little pots, in their little seed trays, and it's time to transplant. So it's been very interesting watching seed grow and then growing in abundance to where they've got to come out of these seedling trays. Oh, we got parsley back there. We're going to group it all into one pot, maybe about two. And these are bean plants. We got navy beans, pinto beans. And believe it or not, these sprouts you see coming up here, I planted those 2 days ago. The seed is bringing up anything you want to put in the ground. As long as it's good soil and it's got some chicken waste or something like in there, it's gonna do that thing. And also here, as you could probably see, this top thing here is grass. As long as you don't put no chemicals in your yard, you can use your grass. After you cut your grass and the little dry little clippings are there, take that, put that on top of your topsoil, and it keeps it moist. That's why these seedlings have been growing like madness. And look, I even got seedlings ready to give out shoots already. It's time to go. We got to get them out of here. There's tomatoes. They've been surviving. Cucumbers. This is just for the second crop. And remember, everybody, how many crops do you get a year? 2. You don't just get just in the spring. You can plant in the fall, and you have certain plants that grow in the winter. Hold a moment. Grandma Bernie wants to remind you that you can plant certain plants twice a year in the ground. Right now, you need to put in some cucumbers. You can even plant what? That's right, corn. You can plant an August batch of corn. Now, we got a couple of ones that was there from a few weeks ago. We had that in. It's grown up. But these actually were planted this week, the first week of April, and bam, just like that, in less than a week. These are the corn shoots. They're ready to go, y'all. And so you can actually have 2 crops. So let's get going. Don't believe that myth that garden is over in the summer. It's not over. It's just getting started. Take a look at this. Okay, running out of pots to put all these veggies, right? So I just took an old pillowcase, stuffed it with some soil, and on top of the soil, I put some old grass. But down in the middle of it, what I put in there was a sweet potato. This was last week about this time. Now look at this. Now, so what I'm going to do is, as this plant grows, I'm going to roll this up and add more dirt, and eventually I'm going to have a pillowcase full of what? Sweet potatoes. Now over here is a green bean plant that was just really going crazy. I planted in a piece of fabric. I had some left over. So as I take you through the garden today, you'll see some of that. Hold the phone as I be moving around. You can say hey to the chickens. Hey everybody. Hey girl, say hello. Say hello. They're not with it right now. But anyway, those are the potatoes. They're coming along. And we had the strangest little caterpillar that looked about the color of, and this really needs to be in a bag or something where I can add more dirt. Because as long as these things get, I've lost potatoes. And it's about over for them. But we can replant any other potatoes as long as they split all year round. Just let's plant out some food. We're going to need it. Okay, here, look, these are some little tomatoes that came in, and we tried one today. It was like super sweet. Now, these are tomato plants that grew in the ground. That's not where I planted them. They just grew where they wanted to. That plant there as well. So many of them, the seeds just moved around in the garden, and this is what we got here. All right, the cucumbers are fading out, but we got a new batch to go in. And it's just interesting. But this caterpillar was the same color as the leaves, and it was eating off the leaves, boy. I'm telling you, it was like, I'm like, what in the world is this I just left the other day, and now where my leaves at? This where it happened. I'm like, yo, what's up? Where's the pretty leaves that was on this? I mean, it ate it down to a nub. And this one too. So what I looked, and it was this green, long, thick caterpillar, and it was sucking the life out of my plant. So I just took it and grabbed it and threw it to the chickens. And so far today, I've only seen 2 of those caterpillars, but they're dangerous. That's why you need to go to your garden every day to see what's going on. And this right here is an interesting patch. I don't know. I must have got confused when I was planting. I know what but carrot seeds look like, and I intended to plant that here. But I got this big old bunch of tomatoes instead. So I don't know if this is something where a bug done got in there. Look, toss that to the chicken. But anyway, now I got all these tomatoes in this section. I be weeding them out and transplanting them some other places. Just so much going on. And you know, I've learned a lot about corn. Do you know that this part of the corn actually holds the pollen that falls down onto the female part, which is the one with the little fuzz there, and it pollinates it to create each one of those little hairs represents one kernel of corn. So all of this has to fall down and fertilize this corn. Because you sometimes you see an ear of corn and some of the kernels are missing. What has happened is the whole kernel didn't get pollinized. So, but when you have a full ear of corn, you will know that all those little hair strands got some pollen on it. You got a full ear of corn. And I learned this from other people. I mean, I didn't come in this world knowing this. I read and I watch YouTube. There's so many excellent gardeners out there that can help you. Like I said, running out of trays, so I just start using fabric and stuff like that. This is mustard greens. I was just trying to save them, hopefully get some seed, but I'm planting some that I hope to have to go on the ground. Everything, remember, I want seed. Okay, look, I finally transplanted some onions. Hope they survive. I got a few starting to stand up, but this is my first time out of 3 years trying to get some onions, and I finally got some going on. Mystery tray. I don't know if these are mustard seeds, but I try and have them labeled, but sometimes the ink runs off and you're like, what is that? You don't know. So to my understanding, I'm thinking that's what it is, and I'll transplant those later. Here's some original tomatoes. We've been trying to give them away and share. Great. These are excellent tomatoes that we have. These some peas that need to be planted, and this is some wheat as well. I hope you can see that. And wheat crop and soy and corn has really been damaged by the past weather, so the wheat might be getting a little high. So I'm like, you know, look, I want to be able to have something of my own, some kind of flour. So of course I'm trying to get it up to get some more seed. Everything here is kind of drying out, and since I'm getting ready to relocate, I'm not putting anything new in the ground. I'm getting everything ready to transport to go with me. So my goal now, as I said, is to get what? Seed. Okay, this is a quick update that I wanted to share. You remember when we first put down the rotting piece of log in a trench, covered it with a little dirt, and then some dry grass? I like this. Now, I don't know what happened in the garden last night. This wasn't leaning over the last time I saw it. But little, you know, there'd be a lot of critters running around at night. They be doing all sorts of things. But anyway, I like this. I liked it because, number one, I found that I didn't have to water it that often. Look at my veggies growing. Okay, we got some down here because it's down off. They're starting to go a little yellow. But you know, that's looking like something else. I wish it was a watermelon, but it's looking like a cucumber. But anyway, these are going, they're down out. I give those to the chickens after I grab some seed out of those. Seed is still good in there. But I liked it because you didn't have to water it. It survived because it's like at the end of the garden. Look, this is a garden. And by the time I get down here, sometimes I'm like out of water because I do it by hand. And it always normally gets left out. So out of being left out, it still survives. So, you know, I think with that, the canned wood under wherever you're planting is superb because it's going to hold that water. These plants too, I gave it a little water every now and then, but they seem to be holding up. One's outside the fence, and they're producing. And you know what? I think I want to share this because It's very important to have flowers growing in your garden alongside with your vegetables. And the reason, because it's for bees, like these flowers here. So many cucumbers that's ready to go, but if they don't get pollinated through the process of other, bees and butterflies and stuff like that, they'll just wither up and go away. So we want to make sure that, we have some flowers, and that's my next thing there. Check this out down there in the ground, like hiding and stuff like that. I mean, this is food growing in the yard, and there's so much that we could do, and being sustainable. We just never know what can happen in life. Trucks may not make it to the store, and you're still gonna want to sell it, right? So under here we got some. I think this is some for some wheat. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I have some top grade wheat, and then I got some everyday wheat. The everyday wheat is just in these trays, but the top notches, I got that put up. That's someplace else. But I'm not sure if I mentioned to you all or not, but this is a sweet potato, and how I put it in there. See, I done had to cut this film so many times, so I don't know if I told you. But anyway, I took a spudding sweet potato. I put 2 of them in a nice clean pillowcase, filled it with some dirt. And actually, I put some dried grass around the sides and on top. And I put the dirt just right at the tip of some of the spuds. And that was like last week about this time. And it is doing great. I'm so glad to see this. I love sweet potatoes. Oh, so they say the planting season's over. They forgot to tell Grandma Bernie that she's going to plant it now. So anyway, everybody, me and the chicks and the garden. And Grandma Bernie and the Scarecrow says, thank you for visiting and sharing the Grandma Bernie show with the Scarecrow today. We hope you've enjoyed the show and gained a little how-to knowledge from other great gardeners that I'm able to pass on to you today via YouTube. They really make it easy for us to share information one to another. So this is us saying to you, have a great day. We love you. Bye-bye.